Ah, Serenia, your timing is impeccable, as ever. Listen, we've got a bit of a problem here, and I'm going to need your help to get this sorted out. This gentleman here is an old friend of mine from back home, in the Nesmer of House Roguecarp. Rougecarp, probably. I've known him since I was a boy. The problem is, home isn't looking so homely anymore. It all started when the Lord of Rougecarp Manor passed away. By all laws and custom, control of the estate should have passed into the hands of the elder of his two sons. But the fellow is away on his travels right now, and has little interest in returning to the estate. Of course, until he's officially renounced his title or turns up dead, someone has to take charge of the house affairs. Hence his younger brother, the late Lord Secondson, has assumed control as Lord Regent. But the boy is a dunderheaded fool. Whereas Lord Father was well respected by the Smokefolk for his just and generous rule, this egotist rules only for himself, terrorizing the populace with increasingly outlandish demands. Take my friend here. For many years he has worked as a manor's head chef, feeding that monster from day he slipped the breast, but even that hasn't been enough to spare him from his new master's spite. The Lord Regent plans to hold a banquet to welcome an envoy from the Holy See, and has demanded to be served a platter of leather puffers. A fish that has been extinct for years. And should my friend fail to provide the fish, his head will grace the platter in its stead. I cannot let him get away with this. There's nothing for it. I'm going to have to... Unless... Might there be another way? Serenia, I beg you. Could you catch one of these letter puffers for me? It's a matter of life and death. The creatures may have been fished to extinction in Ishgard, but there's still a chance they survive to this day somewhere further afield. If only we knew more about their movements. We must need speak with someone who has an encyclopedic knowledge of the migration habits of cloudfish. I know. Sissipu. While Vavalago's out fishing, she's always got her head in an almanac. Maybe she'd know where to find them. My life is in your hands, my lady. If there's any help you can offer me, I'd be most obliged. If it's a letter puffer the Lord Regent wants, it's a letter puffer he will get. But he won't get away with threatening my friends. By the time I'm finished with him, it is he who shall be the endangered species. Okay, then let's go to Sissipu. Well, look what the catfish dragged in. It's nice to see all the fame and fortune you found as a master fisherman hasn't stopped you paying your old instructors a visit. What can I do for you, Serenia? You want to know about letter puffers? When you've come to the right place, when you went to Corvus and caught those cloud cutters, it made me realize the guild's lacking in its learning about cloudkin. So I bought up every book I could find and read them all from cover to cover. Letter puffers are a type of flying fish that's packed to the guild for potent poison. Slice out the venom sac and their meat makes for a tingling taste sensation, but a prick in the wrong place and you won't be leaving the latrine for a week. As for my migration habits, I'm sure I've read something... Ah yes, westerlies. When the weather vanes flung to the west, the Ishgardian nobles would go out in force to catch as many as they could. And they caught a fair few, alright. By all accounts, they fished the poor puffers to extinction. In Ishgard, anyway. It could be they still colonize the clouds further west over the Davanian territory. Try asking around over there. Someone might be able to tell you more. Ask the residents of Mockholm for information. Not certain I even have bait for Cloudkin. There, Mogro. Mokto. You're looking for a letter puffer, Kupo. Then Moguk the Moguk's the Moogle for you. He's a dyed-in-the-fur fishing fanatic, Kupo. One time he was out among the floating islands for so long by the time he thought of heading home, it all moved around and he couldn't find his way back. So do you know what he did? He got his rod out and started fishing again, Kupo. He was here in Mockholm not so long ago, but he flew off to the north. He's not the fastest flyer, so if you leave now, you should be able to catch up to him. Good luck, Kupo. Kupo? Stay away, Kupo. I've got a rod and I'm not afraid to use it. Hold on. What's that appetizing aroma? You look like an aura, but you smell like fish. Who in the world are you? You're a fellow fisherman looking for a leather puffer? Well, why didn't you say so, Kupo? Any angler obsessive enough to come all the way here just for a fish is a friend of mine. And I think I've got some good news for you. Those leather puffers are alive and well, and they're right here in the churning mists. Why, I caught one myself just a few moons back. Looked so delicious I ate it up right there and then... never mind again. Those fish aren't just toxic, they're tricky too. I've only ever managed to catch the one, and even that was an accident. A terrible bowel-twisting accident. If you do manage to catch a leather puffer that's fit for banquet, I'd like to take a look at it. Okay. What do we catch with red balloons? That's apparently one of the things that get me the thing I need to mooch for the leather puffer. Yeah, exactly. Sky fairies. We need that in high quality so we can get the leather puffer. Seems good. Gut, jetzt will er da passen. Mogak? Those leather puffers live around here, but they don't show their face to fishers, Kupo. If you manage to catch one, I'd like to take a look at it. A highly poisonous fish commonly found floating in the skies near the landlord colony. Popopopo? You're a fantastic fisherwoman, Serenia. I never thought I'd see one of these leather puffers again. And it's such a big one, too. A fish like that would make a banquet fit for a king, let alone a Lord Regent, Kupo. Just make sure the chef removes the insides first. You don't want to end up with leather puffer poisoning, trust me. I never thought my thrill would ever be this white again. Still, I'm glad I got to see one again, Kupo. And since you're such an accomplished angler, I'll let you in on a little secret. There's a fish living in stranger places than this. Long, long ago, Kupo, there was an empire who had such mastery of magic that they made a whole continent rise up into the skies. The people who put it there might be long gone, but the island's still up there and it's full of fish. Some of the magic has spilled out onto the surface and formed into strange ethereal chemical pools. Rumor has it that the fish in the spills feed on fiend worms. But I don't know if that's true. Maybe the Moogle who told me was just pulling my pom-pom, Kupo. If you ever find your way up there, you should try your hand at ether fishing, Kupo. Who knows what fantastical fish might be waiting for you in those pools. With that, back to Ishgard. How goes the hunt for the leather puffer, Serenia? I've asked around the city, but nobody's seen spine or scale for one of many years. Maybe they really are extinct. You really caught one? Good God, Serenia, you're incredible. With this fish, you've saved my friend's life. Here you are, chef. One fresh leather puffer. Just be careful you don't cut open the venom sac while you're preparing the platter. We'll be wanting to save that poison for the Lord Regent's portion. Don't worry, it won't kill him. It'll just lay him low for a few days. And if you're afraid of arousing his wrath, then don't be. Just slip away as soon as the food is served and come to me. I'll protect you. Thank you, my lord. I do believe you will. It's not only I who need your protection. Your people are suffering, my lord. You must come back and claim your rightful inheritance. Hey, I thought I told you to keep quiet about that. Well, looks like the curl's out of the bag, so to speak. I don't suppose there's any reason to hide it from you any longer, Serenia. That so-called Lord Regent who's terrorizing the Smallfolk? He's my younger brother. Ever since he was a boy, he dreamed of one day taking control of House Rouge-Carp. He knew that I stood to inherit and he hated me for it. That's why I went away. So that my brother's dream could be realized, and I could devote my days to fishing, free of a burden of lordship. But thanks to my brother's folly, that dream is over. My friend, I've made my decision. No longer will you have to suffer at the hands of a tyrannical fool. This time, it is he who shall suffer. Thank you, my lord. The Smallfolk will be glad to hear it, I'm sure. I'll start spreading the word that you're coming back to us. It'll give them the strength to put up with your brother's demands a little while longer. Well, I think we've had quite enough of my family problems. Now, Serenia, tell me all about how you caught that leather puffer. Magical pools and floating islands? If even half of what that Moogle told you is true, you're sure to find some pretty bizarre specimen there. I wager you're dying to try your hand at this ether fishing lark. And it just so happens I've got a few of those fiend worms he spoke of right here. Don't look so surprised. You might be the better fisher, but nobody can best me when it comes to collecting bait. Now get yourself to that floating isle before I collect them back. You can now ether fish. Okay, last quest. Patience 2. Ah, Serenia. How have the fish been biting? I've had so much on my platter recently, what with all the preparations to return to my ancestral home. I haven't had much of a chance to... Hmm? Oh, hello, Serenia. Glad you're here. There's something I need me to speak with you both about. It's your brother, Anselm. He asked me to assassinate you. Oh, don't worry, I told him I wouldn't do it. After all, if I killed you, who would I beat in our little fishing competitions? What in the world are you talking about, Raina? I know full well why my brother might want me dead, but why would he ask you to kill me? I told you what I do for a living, didn't I? I travel the realm, take on what jobs I can to fuel my fishing habits. What kind of job did you think I was talking about? Chocobo wrangling, basket weaving, may I have a few short stints as a bar wench? Never in my wildest dream would I have thought that one of my fishing friends was a professional assassin. Well, it's true. I specialize in taking down my marks with poison arrows. Remember how you had your brother eat that leather puffer poison? It seems he's keen to give you a dose of your own medicine, right in the heart. It isn't just revenge he wants, he's afraid of me. That's why he's been making unreasonable demands of those who know me well, driving them from their homes and threatening them with death. He's trying to get rid of all who might oppose his regency. Well, as long as he focuses efforts on harming me and not my people, I can rest a little easier. There's just one problem that remains to be solved. Sorry to burst your bubble, Anselm, but it's not just you he's planning to harm. I happen to overhear that he's planning a new irrigation project on your house's estate. At least, that's what he calls it. All he's actually going to do is fill in the fishing ponds just to spite you. What? That lowlife can order my friends to put poisoned arrows in my heart all he likes, but I never forgive him if he dares to damage my family's fishing holes. Serenia, we haven't a moment to lose. Will you lend me your aid to cast out my brother? There's only one way that I can be sure of claiming my inheritance. I must present the Rouge Carbring, the ancient treasure of my house, passed down from father to son since times immemorial. Unfortunately, I dropped it in the sea of clouds. But there may be a way to reclaim it. As I watched the ring descend into the mists, a cloudfish blew by and swallowed it whole. The ring is highly distinctive, a blood-red jewel, the image of a leaping carp, the sigil of my house, intricately inlaid in silver. If anyone was to catch that fish, the tale of the ring's discovery would surely spread far and wide in cloud fishing circles. Serenia, mayhap your Dravanian Moogle friend might have heard aught about it? Pray go to him and ask about my ring. It may be my only hope. And back to the churning mists. Kupopo? You're looking for a ring, Kupo? It wouldn't happen to have a shiny red jewel with a picture of a fish on it, would it? Mogak knows all about it, Kupo. A few weeks back I was filleting one of the fish that I'd caught for my supper. I've learned my lesson about eating fish whole when a ruby ring fell out of its belly. Seeing how shiny it was and where I found it, I thought that someone must have been using it as a lure when the line snapped. I never realized it was an ancient treasure. If I had, I wouldn't have, The truth is, I don't have it anymore. A few days ago, I was fishing from a floating island. Before I knew it, I drifted all the way to Abalathias, Kupo. There was a big birdman there who was fishing in a little pond, and one thing led to another. We decided to have a bit of a contest. A competition that I lost. If I had known he was such an expert fisher bird, I never would have wagered the ring, I promise. Will you tell Anselm I'm sorry? And great. just great, right? First he lost his ring, then the Moogle found it and gambled it away. And next we're looking for that Vanu. Else, at least I expect it to be a Vanu. What in the world? Mogo caught the fish that swallowed my ring? What a stroke of luck. If you see your Moogle friend again, tell him that he has nothing to apologize for. Thanks to him, we know exactly where to find my ring and how to reclaim it. The birdman who won it from him can only be a Vanu Vanu. And if a fellow likes to gamble, all we need to do is challenge him to another contest and win it back. Let's head up to Camp Cloudtop and see if we can find this famous fisherbird. Wow, what a view! The nobles have hit a jackpot here. Serenia, you made it. I've just spoken to the knights in Camp Cloudtop, and they think they know the Vanu fisherman we're looking for. Apparently, we often see him fishing on a floating isle away to the east. However, the way they tell it, we might have some difficulty getting there. You see, the island the birdman likes to fish on isn't connected to the mainland. The only way to get to it is by flying. Anyway, let's head over and take a look for ourselves. Oh, and here, take this rod, I made it myself. The Vanu Vani aren't known for their hospitality, but a gift like this will surely stoke the fire of friendship in the hearts of any fishing enthusiast. Here is Tonavanu. Who are you? And why do you disturb my peace? Neverling appears from nowhere like sudden squall from cloudless skies. A rare and unwelcome occurrence. Here, a gift. For friendship. What a handsome rod, it shines like summer sun. Neverling honors Tonavanu with excellent gift. What can Tonavanu offer in return? I'm looking for this ring, you know. Neverling desires return of Rouge Carp ring? Neverling asks much of Tonavanu. Tonavanu win that ring fair and square. If Tonavanu returns ring, he returns to Moogle, not to Neverling. That is, if Tonavanu can return at all. In truth, Tonavanu has ring no more. Tonavanu uses ring to fish for bullfrog, but as soon as bullfrog bites, big cat killer comes along and strikes like lightning, whipping away bullfrog, lure and all. What is matter, Neverling? Tonavanu sees storm clouds gather on your brow as if your face comes on to rain. Why you want red ring so? Evil man with icy heart threatens to destroy fishing holes? Neverling is true friend of fish to sadden so, and any friend of fish is friend of Tonavanu. Tonavanu helps you catch cat killer and get back ring. First, Neverling needs to catch big bullfrog. Bullfrog is cat killer's favorite food. Use big bullfrog to lure to catch cat killer. Cat killer that swallowed Rouge Carp ring is fierce like raging tempest. Neverling will know it when Neverling sees it. Tonavanu melts Neverling's friends waiting on mainland. He sweats more than Moogle in noonday sun. When you catch big cat killer, better take it to him straight away. Okay, that was quite the odyssey. Well, I'm hidden. Okay. First, I needed to craft the bait, the lure, the bladed jig, steel jig. It's level 60 goldsmith item. Then I came back and it was no longer the right weather, so I needed to wait. Then I kept catching the wrong fish. Took a while. All in all, we've come all this way to the Sea of Clouds, and we finally tracked down the Banu fisherman who has my ring. The rest is up to you, Serenia. All my hopes and dreams rest at the end of your line. Like summer sky after rainstorm, it is clear to Tonavanu that this is the fish that swallows your ring. Neverling is shining example to all fishermen, like bright ray of sunshine that pierces clouds. But enough talk of weather. Let me pierce fish instead. The Rushka ring? The very same. The treasure will secure me my birthright, and let me take my rightful place as head of my house. My brother isn't the type to go quietly, but this ring should be enough to silence him. I shan't let him terrorize the small folk any longer. I suppose my lord won't be going on any more fishing trips in the near future then? You may be right. If all goes to plan, I should be able to spare my family's fishing holes from my brother's wrath, but I doubt my new lordship will leave me much time to enjoy them. Do not wilt like flower in drought, noble lord. Just as hurricane has its eye, so the most demanding duty has its moment of peace. Whenever you find yourself in such a time of calm, let the easterly breezes blow you back to my island. You may use it as and when you wish. Truly? You would allow me the use of your fishing hole? You too are a friend of fish, and any friend of fish is a friend of Tonavanu. We are brothers in Finns, and even the wildest whirlwind will not tear that bond asunder. Tonavanu's fishing hole is yours to use as you please. Tonavanu only asks you let him visit your land sometime. A lord who likes fishing so must have some secret spots of his own, yes? You let me fish in your fishing hole so long as I let you fish in all of mine? You drive a hard bargain, Tonavanu. Well, alright. But if you want to keep your presence in Ishgard's secret, we're going to have to get you a change of clothes. Ooh, I want to try out your fishing holes too. Hurry up, Anselm. The quicker you boot out your brother and he claim your lordship, the sooner we can go fishing. You make it sound as if it's a foregone conclusion. Even with a Rushka ring on my finger, my brother and his cronies aren't like to leave without a fight. It may be many a moon before I can undo the damage my brother has done. Oh, stop your grumbling. You've got a ring back and Tony here has given you permission to use a secret fishing hole. What have you got to complain about? Just get back to Ishgard and kick out your brother before he ruins your estate. Not only for the good of your small folk, but for the benefit of fishing fanatics everywhere. Particularly those directly in front of you. You're right. If being granted the use of a fishing hole of such outstanding beauty will not give me the strength to oust my brother, Nothing will. Serenia, I thank you. For years I dreaded the day I might have to end my travels and assume my lordship. But with friends like you, I know that it need not be the end of my adventures. The next time we meet, I shall be Lord Anselm at the Rouge Carp. And I'll challenge you to a rematch. Oh, let me join in too. We can hold the next contest down here, in such a peaceful place you can forget all about the worries of the world and focus on the fish. Indeed. Just as a balmy breeze blows the storm clouds from the sky, so the eddies clear the sorrows from your soul. It is truly a fisherman's paradise. And we learn patience too. Get some high cordials and testing new waters as a fisher, you have learned patience too. This concludes the fisher quest for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. In order to undertake the next series, you need to end Far Edges of Fate and own Stormblood. Then it continues on from Sisyphu. Just so. Serenia, good to see you. I expect you here for a fishing contest. Sad to say, I have another battle on my hands at present. The one with my brothers for control of House Rouge Carp. It's only a matter of time before it gives up the ghost. But I'm afraid our little competition will have to wait until then. I just hope that when the time comes, I'm not too rusty to give you a challenge. Good luck and so... I hope you're lucky with your endeavors. But that's it for the Fisher Quest for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. And yeah, we continue next time with something else. I'm Mace, and until then, don't get lost.